Bat Force Radio.
Bat Force Radio is rated M for mature, or should that be immature?
Hey guys, Dustin Nguyen.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder.
This is Paul Dini.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
You're listening to Bat Force Radio.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and you're listening to Bat Force Radio, so stay tuned.
I swore on everything. I never get tired of that beat. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Everything Batman. People in the Bat Force call me Dunk. Today, we have a close friend of mine, also Comic-Con buddy. We have Murphy in the house, owner of Scott. I'm messing up already. Skeptic Comics. Yeah, I'm a hobble. Go right ahead. You say it.
I am the owner of Spectral Comics.
There we go. Spectral. Sorry, guys. English is my second language.
Mine too.
Yeah.
If you count foul language as a first language.
All right, so that's my third language. Man, we messed up. So I just wanted to welcome Murphy to the show. Murphy has been a friend and a follower of the podcast for a while. We have crossed paths in a crazy way during the pandemic, right? At all times, making fun of me. No, not or calling me out to his boss. It's been different, but we crossed paths, and I was very curious on his endeavors when it comes to Comic-Cons, and here we are where he runs his own business selling comics, and not just regular comics. He sells variant covers, and he also holds a business in which where he gets access to artists and other ways of comics where you can make an income. And and previously on the podcast we've had Nerdy Girl, we had Elite Comics. And we learned a lot there. And I figured, after talking to Murphy a couple of times and seeing him in about maybe 3 to 4 different Comic-Cons during the pandemic, we could learn something here. And, you never know. Maybe this could be a different business venture for anyone else. Or obviously you don't want to be his, you want to be his ally.
Competition.
But Murph, man, tell us about yourself.
My name is Brian James Patrick Murphy. I am the owner of Spectral Comics. I have been working in comic adjacent for about a little over 10 years now, and I love it. You know what? It started as just, honestly, a mutual friend of ours, Richard Capienko, invited me to come to New York Comic-Con once, and I ended up started working with New York Comics with a bunch of great people there back in the day. It was run by Sean McLaughlin, good guy. He's the owner of Carnivore Comics, and Chris Capienko, who's actually my silent partner in Spectral.
Nice.
And basically, we were working with Stan Lee, and it was right around the time with Marvel, just these movies just picked up, and it was just so great to be a part of, for lack of a better word, pop culture as it was evolving, and people were starting to take notice of comics. This thing I actually grew up reading and loving. I still have my first comic. I'm not whipping it out for you. It's buried somewhere in there.
Keep it in there.
But I loved it, man. It was this being a part of something that was growing and moving and fasting it. And if you had the drive and the hustle to make it, you could be successful at this, which I'm pretty good at.
Well, it's you and I spoke about it a couple of times. It's kind of like your current 9 to 5, and the beauty of it, and you mentioned before that you started off early enough where it is, and I might be jumping ahead here. Do you think it's too late for anyone else to start, or?
Truth of the matter is, I don't think so. This is something, especially with, have you guys been following, talking to the crowd. Have you been following the trend of Whatnot? Like Whatnot has shown that anybody could do this now because it's live stream. As long as you can get in front of a camera and you have the confidence to sell yourself and to talk, and you have a slight of a personality and you know what you're talking about, people will believe in you and follow you. Yeah. So I've watched people that were, I'm not going to name drop anybody, who I've met at Comic-Cons that were just comicos, regular Joe Schmoes that showed up to a bunch of cons, and now they're thriving on Whatnot as everyday sellers and making great money. I wouldn't say cash in your pension and invest into a comic collection, but start small, see what you would collect, buy what you love as a person, and then try and see if you can sell some of it, you know, because most of the time, if you like it, somebody else likes it. Don't get me wrong. There's the occasional thing that you love that's going to tank. Like, you know, I'm not going to name drop a few books that I pushed that didn't do well. I still
one
have
at
them.
least. What's one that didn't do well?
All right. So I just dropped damn it, I shouldn't do that.
No, nothing recently, bro. Jesus Christ, don't hurt yourself. Let's just say like Care Bears or something. Right?
Care Bear, I could probably sell Care Bears. You give me a Kate Cook cover, I can sell Care Bears. But then again, like my old man used to always tell me, you know, never be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. So I was always trying to be good at multiple things, you know.
Yeah.
I grew up washing dishes at the restaurant. My father's been a bartender for the past 40 years, and on the side, he was a mechanic who would work at pick up whatever shift and do whatever he needed doing just to put food on the table, you know.
Yeah, you put the work in.
Stay-at-home mom.
Hold on, you're breaking up a little bit. I just want to make sure. Gotta make sure that Wi-Fi connection is good.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. The visual is a little blurry, but we'll be all right without it. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly.
All right, so we're good. Back to all right. So what got you into this business? And you mentioned Stan Lee, right? I want to go over just something you sent us, and it was a picture of you with Stan Lee, and let's go over that moment of meeting Stan Lee. I for one, I never had the luxury of meeting him. I'm saddened by it because when you hear about everything he went through and all that stuff, I jumped to this community mad late. Well, I didn't. I jumped out and then jumped in way too late, and I missed out so much. But you had the luxury of meeting this legend. How was that? How did that go?
Honestly, he was an amazing human. You know, like I was gracious and lucky enough to actually work with him through NY Comics. So what they did was they ran his CGC lines. So basically I would help run the lines for Stan Lee, and just he was a character, you know, like he didn't care who you were. He would treat everyone with the same amount of respect and talk to them all, which was kind of humbling for this man who, let's face it, was
created most of Marvel.
Yeah, he created every character in Marvel that we all know and love, and probably never needed to work another day in his life, but he still chose to do that many shows and that many cons and come and greet the fans. You know, I remember being in green rooms with him and just listen to his stories about why he and I'm not going to repeat any of them, not on camera. No. But just the man was just amazing at telling stories, you know?
That's awesome.
And that photo was at Rhode Island Comic-Con, and it was like I was as nervous as a virgin on prom night, even though I've met the man like 30 times, but he kept me at calm.
That's awesome because you hear that constant story with Stan Lee, and everyone I've ever met that met him, and again, like, I'm 36 years old, and for me, it's like I wish I would have been this deep into comics as I am now back then. But it's like, all right, cool. I meet my people now, but it's like, man, Stan Lee, when you think about, you know, it's just everything he created. It's just meeting him. You don't even need the picture. It's just the experience, you know?
He just being in the same room with him. But allow me to mitigate it for you. Everybody you meet now wouldn't be a part of this community if it wasn't for Stan Lee. So technically, you're meeting a part of Stan Lee because you meet those people.
No, you're right. That's a great way to see it. So after you meet Stan Lee, right? Before you decide to grow your business or start your business, like what other steps did you take to get there?
So basically, I was honestly not gonna lie. I was working as a bartender at Barback, and I was also working at a boatyard at our. And I live on a beach community. That I was working at a boatyard, basically scraping barnacles off of boats. Not even gonna lie, whatever I needed to do to pay the bills. And I'd do Comic-Cons on the weekends every once in a while, and
Nice.
I'd get these books signed and graded through CGC. Love them.
Well,
And
what was the turnaround time back then?
so you sure you want to know? You sure you want to know?
Well, yeah, because I knew what it was.
I love
before
CGC,
the
and I'm not going to
pandemic.
bash them. I just submitted something, and I got it back in 2 weeks. I love you, Brittany, Lewis. You're my favorites.
All right, I didn't know who they are before you leave today, but continue.
No, CGC has always been great, but to be honest, one of my good friends, Chris, always used to tell me, he's like, Murph, I know you don't want to sell some stuff, just post it on eBay at a steep price, and if it sells, it sells. And then one thing started selling, and then I'd use the sale money from that thing to actually buy 3 more things, and then 2 of those things, and I just slowly snowballed and snowballed. And the fact that, I'm not going to lie, massive thank you to Sean and Chris for putting me in such close proximity to Stan, so I was able to get many stayed SIGs. As don't get me wrong, I had to pay for them, but still, I was able to continuously find product because I was working Comic-Cons with them,
Nice.
and I was able to keep substantiating my inventory.
Yeah.
And eventually, I built Merc with a comic up enough where I was selling and making great inventory, and then I was able to buy the art I love,
Yeah.
So it was basically where they basically became a hobby that paid for itself, and then it took off even more. Where I'm not gonna lie, COVID like blew it up. People were just sitting at home and they wanted to be a part of something, and they were just buying right and left. And I was just like, yeah, between Stanley and Todd, everything was selling, and it allowed me to buy more and more inventory and continue to sell. So it just basically started off like you ever see those classic cartoons where the snowball is just rolling down the hill and it slowly becomes like an avalanche? That's basically what it was.
Yeah. Well, I actually saw a TikTok where it wasn't a cartoon anymore. And someone had like a snowball and they just rolled it and they got huge. And I was like,
please splice that video into here if you can.
if I can find it, I will. But nah, man, it's awesome news because you're only talking about like 2 years ago, right? And
well, I was always doing well, but COVID like really helped. Where at that point I was working for Scorpion Comics. I was basically the shipping foreman for them. I'd bag and board most of the stuff and handle most of their drops and shipping. With Sean,
did that help?
It was learning the ins and outs from them, and basically taking notes and learning everything I could, and just watching them do it allowed me and then basically instilling the confidence in me to do it myself. Was a massive part of my success. I have to give them a lot of the credit.
That's huge. After working with them, like, again, like you talk about kind of the COVID era, what other footsteps did you take to get you to where you are now?
Well, I owe a lot of my success to basically working with people like them, and also name drop Jason Izazari, who I know at Captured Collectibles.
My boy Jason.
I'm not gonna lie. Last convention season, I traveled most of the year with him, and basically me and him worked hand in hand to get a bunch of books done. And I owe that man a lot, just because in COVID he helped me keep getting inventory to keep substantiating my clients, because basically working through this for the past 10 years, you see the same names. I have a repertoire of several clients that buy a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell any names of my clients.
No, don't. You have to share that. But, so now with Jason, he runs Capture Collectibles. We're going to share a couple of pictures, and just, you could just run down those experiences at those cons, and we're going to look at this first one.
That is Baltimore Comic-Con. We had just done a signing with John Beatty.
John Beatty is a man. I fucking love that dude.
He is amazing and so humble. And like he's done, and most people don't realize, like everyone always thinks of Secret Wars 8, but the guy has had such a big
he's
run.
done Batman stuff. He's done so much. Yeah. We actually I guess that's like the first time you and I actually like you were making fun of me. And we actually I was sitting there with my Secret Wars 8, right? Jason just cracked it open. I'm just sitting there waiting, minding my own business. Everyone was like, yo, that dude just cracked a 9.0 Secret Wars 8 because he wants to get it signed by everyone. I got so much shit for it. And you were like, you're telling Jason, yo, you're keeping everything Batman waiting here? And I was like, this dick. But it was funny. It was funny because Jason had no idea who the fuck I am. And he just knew I was Risley's friend. Shout out to Risley. Cool ass
We want to
bro.
acknowledge Risley.
I'll always acknowledge Risley because that's that dude.
I love Risley. I own a where is it? Oh, it's not out here. Kelly Jones Bane sketch because of that beautiful.
Yeah,
human.
that dude's a beast, and he's also introduced me to John Beatty, and this Comic-Con, John Beatty, Risley, and I actually had dinner together, and I was sitting there like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This is my life now." And that was a great memory, man, and it was a combo of actually being friends with you and like linking up and being friends with John Beatty, and overall that was a great Comic-Con. I became friends with Jason.
Well, I didn't send you any of the photos because I was a lot fatter then. But one of that reminds me of when I first started, one of my favorite artists was Clayton Crane, which everybody knows he's on fire and
he's a beast right now with his fucking rainbow signature.
But he was honestly, he's still one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie, like I buy just about every cover the man drops. But it was just the first time when I went out to dinner with him, and I'm just like, I'm out with Clayton motherfucking Crane. Oh, am I allowed to curse?
You can curse all you want. It's all right.
My bad. But I'm like, I'm out with Clayton motherfucking Crane, and this dude's talking to me like I'm a Joe Schmo, like we're just chit-chatting and everything. Did you cheat? And I'm like, he was such a great guy. Actually, like, gotcha. I'm gonna move the camera. That's the original art to Funeral Pyre right there off to the left. That's Clayton. Like, and half the art on my walls is awesome. From Clayton. I'm not going to move anymore, but one of my favorite pieces over there, I'll show it to you later, is an Unknown Rama Hellboy he did for me. That's also signed by Mike Mignola, and those are pieces that are never leaving my collection, just because Clayton, the friendship I built with Clayton over working Comic-Cons with him, allowed me to get those.
That's awesome. And when you work Comic-Cons with him, was it just like you working with him individually, or like you working with someone?
So I was working with Scorpion a lot of the time. So a lot of the times I'd be like, how do I say this? I'd be the witness for Sig Series, or I'd help push the product at the table and help mitigate the lines. So, and I'd basically make sure, I'd help Clayton get everything he needed, like walk him back to his hotel room at the end of the night, just to make, just if he needed coffee, I'd go get coffee. No, like, I don't want to say, huh?
No, of course. Like, it makes sense. Like, you were, you took care of him when it came to Comic-Cons, and it's like, that kind of becomes a job. And it's not like, it's not asked of you to do so. But at a certain point, when you know that you're with this high caliber someone, it's like, why the fuck would you not do a little extra just because they appreciate it?
To me, half the time I was getting myself coffee too. Like, me, I always have a nice coffee in my hand.
You had so much fucking coffee, dude. I remember sitting there. I'm like, this motherfucker has another coffee in his hand. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and
my lady wants to make me a shirt that says "I run off caffeine and hatred," and I'm like, ooh, that speaks to me.
Makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, I saw you with coffee all the damn time. Hold on. Going back to
what do you think is in this?
At this time, bro, you gotta go to bed soon. So now, hold on, I got another picture here. I think this is the New York City Comic-Con.
Yes, this is New York City Comic-Con. We just did a signing with the Red Ranger. He's in the back with his arms crossed. Right there in the front of me is actually Aaron Bartling, because he just wanted to be, and he's an amazing, super talented artist. If you haven't, please go follow him. He's crushing it on his last Ronin series.
Nice.
And we were actually there with the Comic Man and Captured, of course. And
Nice.
also to my right is Javin Jordan throwing up. But this was oh God, memories. This was New York Comic-Con this year, and actually was a pretty good show with even though like the COVID restraints, which were starting to get loosened, but it was like I was actually shocked with the turnout. I kind of thought it wouldn't be as busy as it was, to be honest with you. But
well, what day was that?
Rush, huh?
What day was that? Was that Saturday?
That was Sunday. That was the
I was I went Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was surprised with the turnout just because, you know, with COVID and everything, I was just like, oh shit, there's mad people out here. Cool. But it wasn't mad people. It was like a good amount of people. And
it was busy, but it wasn't busy. It was the weirdest sensation. But you got to remember, it's so big that you could spread it out. Like, I'm probably doing San Diego this year. I didn't do the Thanksgiving show, but like I would imagine it would have been the same thing.
So it was dope to have. It was dope to have the amount of people like that. At that moment, it was like, yo, shit, there's mad people out here. We can hang out again. This is cool. And then it was like, I'm bugging out. No, we're good. And it was like, we were good until the anime con, but we could talk about that some other time.
No. We're not talking about Omicron.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about that. But, so another picture I have with you. I'll go ahead.
You're 100% correct about New York. It was like, honestly, in my head, it was like, maybe things are going to get back to normal, because it was like, you could finally do a big show together. And like, I saw people I hadn't seen since before the pandemic, which was really nice to reconnect with them.
Shit, I didn't see you guys. Well, I wasn't looking for you guys. I was hanging out. I was hanging out with another Murphy.
You betrayed me? He's much more famous.
When it comes to Sean Murphy, everyone knows.
I'm not going to get it, but I have the original art to one of the White Knights. I'll show you later.
Fuck you. Nah, good for you, bro. When it comes to his new shit, I'll buy some original art. I got that itch. So I got another picture of you guys in Catch Your Collectibles.
That's me. This is actually that guy in the front right here. Oh, I'm pointing like you guys can see.
Pointing, yeah.
I'm the guy in the back with a big smile on my face, happier as a clam. The one in the front is the talented Rich Hen. He is one of the original people who did Sig series that I met. He's been doing it for, I don't know, probably 20 years. And he was so, honestly, when I first started, he was so welcoming and basically helped teach me some of the ins and outs of not to make the same mistakes he is. He's also a super talented presser.
Nice.
Go look that man up, because if you ever need to submit books to Sig series and Jason Isazari or Captured is busy, Rich Hen is a wonderful human and does a bunch of signings. He actually got my Werewolf by Night 32 signed by Doug Mensch, and Doug Mensch hasn't been doing signings at all. So
wow, I love that man. That's huge.
Yeah.
Let me take this one down. And then we have you with a couple of artists, right? A couple of artist picks.
Ooh. Oh, that's Joe Quesada. This actually was Baltimore Comic-Con. I had to do the witnessing. Please avoid my lady calls it the shovel beard. Please ignore that. I hate it. Sometimes she asks me to send her photos during Comic-Con, and I don't realize until she starts giggling. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, oh, you got the shovel beard. And I'm like, damn it. I need to proof check this, you know? That's why I never leave home without a handy dandy pocket comb.
I'm like over here like, you know, I should brush mine more often, but whatever. I don't have a lady to tell me what not to do, so. It's just Jason.
Gates. That's Jason and Donnie. He got a bunch of books signed for me. He sent. He actually, I sent this because Jason FaceTimed me during the signing. This was the signing for Unknown Comics during COVID last year, right around the
Nice.
time that the Black Winter Thor run dropped. And they both FaceTimed me, and Donnie was just so like chill and willing to talk to a Joe Schmo that he honestly we had met in passing at shows, but he probably doesn't know me from a hole in the wall, to be honest.
Donnie Cates is a really cool dude, man. When I think it was Sean, I'm talking about you again. Sean Ridley and I, we went over to this. We went to the Donnie Cates signing at downtown Midtown Comics, right? And the same day that Tom King and Mitch were doing a signing at where was it? Barnes and Nobles at Union Square, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Sean's like, yeah, we're gonna go to this signing first. I'm bugging the fuck out. I'm like, nah, man. I don't care about this signing. I don't. I want to go to Tom King and Mitch. And he's like, trust me, we could do both. And I'm like, bugging out. We go to the Donny Cates signing in Midtown, downtown, and Donnie shows up. He goes down the whole fucking line of everyone waiting for him and just like high fives everyone. And I was like, all right, you know what? This dude just gained a fan, dude. Because I'm like, you don't have to do that. You know, like you could just show up and sit down on your desk and your table and start signing books. He came down, high fived everyone. I was like, how you guys doing? We're all pumped. Now we're all excited, right? We've been standing there for like 2 hours. And that's
big though. Like,
no, yeah,
I've done a few Midtown comic signings myself, just sitting
yeah.
out. It can get cold waiting in that line.
It was.
But him doing that, he just made a fan for life. And
Exactly. And it's like just something so little. Like now, like when I see him in a lineup, I'm like, you know what? I gotta find a Donnie book I want to get signed. And
there's a million Venom books.
Yeah, all the Venom books, man. And he's, similar, not similar, because I can't never compare him to the Murph Dog. He writes, he draws, he's personable. Like, man, like, you don't see a lot of that. And someone like him, he gained a fan in me. And like, yeah, I'm everything Batman. Yeah, I read nothing but Batman books, but you know what? Like, I'll go out my way and defend myself for Donnie, just because that one interaction, like when he knew people were out there for God knows how many hours, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna run down this whole line and high five everyone.
But he got the crowd amped by doing that, didn't he? He knew what he was doing.
And that was the thing. It didn't matter if he knew what he was doing, but he did it,
Which
a lot
is
of
crazy because
a lot of people
artists
know what to do, but very few people do it. And when he did that, I was just like, all right, cool. Yeah, Tom King could wait.
But a lot of these artists and writers are, for lack of a better word, are recluses that or have some form of social anxiety where they just won't even talk to people. And then it's like pulling teeth for someone. But then then you get like people like Donnie, and for lack of a better word, I don't mean to compare the two, but it almost reminded me of Stan, when he'd actually talk to people and have a conversation with the average Joe and treat him like a human,
Yeah, and that's it's a huge difference. But when those people come around, you have to appreciate them. Yeah. After working, the con circuit and captures. So what motivated you to start your own company? The real question is not what motivated you, because like at the end of the day, like I feel like I work a 9 to 5, right? And I have so many motivations to start my own company. But at what point were you like, you know what? I think I'm at where I would need to be. So let me get the ball rolling.
I've been doing the Merc with the comic for 5 years, and I kept it to mainly eBay, Instagram, and like a select clients.
Yeah.
And then
So for those of you who don't know, Merc with a Comic, give him a follow first. Make sure that you hit him with the IG, because you're gonna see some of his posts and you're gonna be like, how the fuck did you get that?
it's this
Like
pretty face.
Like the Joel Jones 9.9. It's still there? Is it still out there?
I still have it, but it's in the other room.
Oh yeah, keep it in the room because it belongs there. So you want to follow Merc with the Comic first. That's his main Instagram, and we'll get into the business one. But continue.
Hold on.
Oh, he's gonna go get it. He's gonna go get it. The whole story behind. I don't even. Should I share the story? He can't hear me.
Yeah,
but,
it's in the other room.
Can I share it? Yeah, let's keep it in the other room. But the story about the 9.9, when you guys see it, is nothing crazy. So C2E2 2021, your boy Dunk is out there showing Chicago what it is, how to eat a fucking deep dish, because I ate a
that
whole one by
lasagna
myself.
that they call pizza.
Yeah, but whatever. I crushed it by myself and got a free one. So I think it was it Jeffrey? Who was the gentleman who told me, he's like, you have to go to not Lombardo's, whatever it was.
Gerardo's?
No,
Giordano's?
There was your one buddy who was like, you have to go here, you have to go there. And I was like, I'll go there. And I went and I had a whole pie by myself and I got a free pie. So whatever. I don't want to talk about that because I couldn't do much after that. But
yeah, the itis?
The itis, bro. I can't even, it's not even the itis, bro. I had a coma. I legit, my hotel was a block and a half away, dude. And it was raining. I was struggling to get there. But the dude told me that it was free. So I had to eat the whole thing because that con money, man. So the whole Joel Jones thing happened. Well, so I have a blank. Do I have it next to me? Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me just pull this. I have a blank I've been working on since 2018 New York Comic-Con. And so a lot of artists, I'm gonna showcase myself. Sorry, Murph. Have drawn on this. And Joelle Jones has signed some stuff for me and all that stuff, and she's been a marvelous person to do things. But the first day, it was Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday?
It was a 4-day show, Thursday.
So Thursday, she drew this dope-ass Batman in my blank.
That's money.
Yeah, and I asked her, I'm like, why won't you do it on the cover? I had this whole spot. Do it over here. And she was saying how she's nervous about doing covers and all this stuff. And I was like, damn, God damn it. But I was like, yo, she did a free sketch. And I was like, yo, I'm in there. And I run, so come Friday, I run to her table because Thursday evening she wasn't there because her hand was tired. And I was like, I bet she was doing mad sketches. And I was like, yo, I got to jump in before her hand gets really tired. I'm not going to get any sketches, you know? And I'm over by Capture Collectibles table, right? And I go, Murph. Murph's like, oh, where are you going to first? I'm like, I go to Joel Jones. And Murph's like, for what? I mean, she's doing free sketches. And he's like, I need a blank.
Pulled out the trusty Detective Comics 1000.
Yeah.
99.
Yeah, he gets a fucking blank. Well, first off, I get my Catwoman my Batcat sketch.
Blue one. You had the blue blank.
Yeah, I'm pumped as fuck. Still waiting from CGC because I didn't rush it. I'm learning from the best. And Murph gets his, and it comes in a 9.9. Like, listen, guys. All right, so for those of you who don't get books graded, for those of you who don't understand what a 9.9 means, right? So
10-0 is perfect.
all right, so I got this comic book today, right? I put this up. There's an art germ. There's no spine fractures. It's pretty clean. This is I don't even know. It's a Batman Superman World's Finest. One covered by art germ. Shit looks clean.
It's just money. That man can draw anything.
Yeah, with that dude, MegaCon. Yes. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? I don't see anything. There's a small dent right over the hedge. You might get away with that. Worst case scenario, this is a 9.6, right? A solid book, right? Straight out of pressing, straight out of anything, you get a 9.8. And a 9.8, man, you want 9.8s. Most of the books at comic shops are 9.8s unless someone just flims them around and shoves them in the freaking sockets. You get a 9.9 on a regular comic book, right? Like a regular comic book, like one of these, right? What are they, like 10 by 8, whatever the hell it is. A 9.9, your book just jumped up like $400 for no fucking reason. It doesn't matter what a 9.9 is.
Not gonna lie, I probably wasn't gonna sell the Joel, but the fact that it's a 9.9, I put it on eBay. I ain't gonna lie to you. Small eBay plug, but it's on my eBay because if someone comes and buys it, I'll ship it. But until then, it's staying on my wall.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like a 9.9.
Did you notice the 10-0 Turtles the next day?
No,
I sold that.
You got a 10-0 Turtles? What? Ronin?
Last Ronin 4.
Shut the fuck up.
Double remarked by Aaron Bartling and Ben Bishop.
So this is another one. Like when it comes to magazines hit higher grades, but
but they're the square bound books. If you know those square bound books,
you can't press or anything. You're fucked. So for those, you're most likely to get a 9.8, right?
Yeah.
Don't open it. Boom.
Unless there's massive printer, there has to be like a printer error for 9.8. Like if most DC books, like the legit ones, are always 9.8 just because they do square bound, or like the key DC prints, like a Tech 1000, New Joker, like they always make them those thick square bounds. Yeah,
but like you're bound to get a 9.8, but also if they're clean enough, because how sharp they are, you get a 9.9. And in the rare occasion, less than 1%, you get a 10. You get a fucking 10. You throw in your own birthday party. But
you sold it and paid your rent.
Exactly. Like it's crazy because like even when let's go back to where, like, for me, when I first started seeing 10s was Damned. Right, like Damned was a big deal.
Damned was 10s, and like the metal covers, like those, like
the metal covers, yes.
The Do You Poo medals, like those would always get 10.
Do You Poos.
Well, I'm just being honest. Like those were like the first
nuts.
Those were the first consistent metal covers you saw.
Yeah,
like or like what's a Lady Death. Lady Death had a lot of medals.
Lady Death was crazy. Yeah,
So. Brian Pulido printed those beautifully, but those were like the first 10-0s you'd really see, and then
and those are really rare, and like 9.8's already pristine. So when you get 9.9 or 10 in any comic book, I don't care who you are as a collector or a buyer or a seller or whatever you want. Listen, you're making money. So when you hit those, especially when there's a sketch, a signature, or like anything or a key issue, oh man, you might as well fucking like go scratch some shit off, go make some money, because you get the jackpot. It's hard to come across those unless you know someone who's working for CGC and you put a couple of $100 bills in there and they're looking you out. But if you can't even do that.
Couldn't even do that.
Can't even do that.
On-site grading shows. I've I've not tried. I'm joking, but like, I may have said, "Who do I got to bribe?" And all
No,
nine
they
sixes.
don't give a shit. They're not trying to lose their jobs, man.
Hell no.
They're looking at comic books and grading and making money. So
Let's just say there's a reason CGC does 20% better than CBCS. You know, that's all.
at minimum 20%. But yeah, when it comes to that grading, guys, pay attention to that. Murph's here first, letting you know. But we're going to go through a couple of his books that he has released and a couple of the storylines behind them. So to start off, something very recent. I'm going to show this off because no, you know what? Let me start off before I show this off. I'm gonna start off with a book that I guess when we were at Baltimore, we became really close to this one of the artists here, and kind of built a relationship there. I became part of a Facebook group out of nowhere for this team, and they also got the rights were bought to Paramount Pictures. So the first comic I'm going to go with is this one right here.
Ooh, the Agnes.
Yeah.
This is Stray Dogs too. I thought you were going to show the Hannibal first.
Nah, man. I gotta save the best for last, bro. Come on.
All right. So this is honestly, I'm a huge Agnes Garboska fan, but like, let's be honest, her style is like, I don't want to say My Little Pony, but for lack of a better term, My Little Pony. You know, like cartoony, like looks but I couldn't. There's not a lot of titles you can make that work for, you know. But then when Stray Dogs popped up, massive shout out to Trish Forstner and Tony Fleeks for putting out these series. Go follow them. Go read it. It's actually great. It's a great series. But and he's referring to the Stray Dogs Facebook group. I'm a part of them too. Those guys are actually pretty great.
Yeah, what's it? Doc
runs it, and Virgil.
Yeah, great dudes. You had
Virgil's
to follow
birthday was yesterday, but by the time this airs, it was probably like 4 days ago.
Well, happy birthday, brother.
But no, this is a Let Me In poster homage because so I'm not gonna lie, this one we gave Agnes a dealer's choice to send us a couple, and she actually said she loved the show. And the moment she sent us the concept, like I just loved how Soapy was just curled and ball, and it looked perfect.
I think when it came out with Sophie, and again when I went to Baltimore, Stray Dogs was done, right? But there was so much. Anyone who was a fan of Stray Dogs wanted more, and like
it was before Dog Days had even dropped.
Yeah, and the funny story behind this was, and I hate sharing this story, but it was a funny one. Come Sunday, it was Sunday, and I was like, Trish was busy as fuck.
She was the busiest person at the show.
She wasn't ready for that.
No,
she wasn't ready for that. And then Doc was there, and she was just like, I remember I saw her Friday, and she did a Sophie for me on my blank. And then as I walked through, I was like, fuck, I wanted to put a butt in the back, right? Because it only made sense. And so Saturday I come back, but I did my other friend wanted a Sophie, and I was like, all right, cool, let me do a let her draw whatever my friend's thing. And I remember telling Trish, I was like, yo, I want you to draw a butt in the back of my blank. And Trish was like, we're drawing butts tomorrow. And I was like, hell yeah, we're drawing butts. And the following day, you and half of your fucking team were standing in front of me. I was the second dude in line for C2E2. And then Jason was like, hey, if you need CGC, you're good. The whole team's in front of you. And I was like, I'm good regardless. I never got it. I just, what I did was I got I don't have the picture here, but if anyone who follows me, it's EverythingBatman 219. I have a picture of it's a blank of something's killing the children, and Trish crossed out children and put owners and drew a Sophie on there.
Yours was sick. Mine, I did a Sophie as Harley Quinn, and I have a Rusty as Ace the Bat Hound. I still have both of them.
That's dope. With the Super Pets coming out, they better be fucking drawing some Super Pets on that shit next time we see them. But we're going to see Tone over at MegaCon.
Tone is great. Tone, I first met Tone at Dallas, and he did a couple pieces for me. He did a beautiful Sophie, and
Nice.
I had he signed and remarked my Stray Dogs issue #1 with a master. He did it in this beautiful hot pink. It really pops. Yeah.
He's well, the one blank is still going around. So Tony did one. Tony did another Sophie on the same blank with no butt. But he knew what it was because I gave it to one of my buddies over Nando Knight. What up? Over at LA Con. So now I need Tone to draw another Sophie on there and just have the three of them on there. But speaking of Stray Dogs, we're going to go right over to this picture.
Now this one was me. I am a huge Silence of the Lambs fan. And
Nice.
The truth is, I wanted the Hannibal Stray Jacket look, but then John Gallagher, shout out, he's the one doing my twig.
Nice.
Probably will release that. Actually, I might have just made that slip. Shit. I don't have art yet. But he crushed this, and then Tony Fleeks gave it this poster look. But the problem was the scene I wanted to depict, it didn't have a poster look. So then we comboed off the Hannibal poster from the TV show. So this one is actually from the TV show Hannibal, and then the other one is the version to the original Anthony Hopkins scene.
That is dope, man. So you have say in what's going on here?
Yes, I have. I'm the one paying for it. So, like, to a point, don't get me wrong, I can't. It's within reason.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I can. That's one of my favorite parts in this whole process. Is like, I'm not gonna lie, I can draw an ugly stick figure if you want, but for me, it's more along the lines of starting it up here and then talking with artists that can actually draw and create and making it all come to fruition. You know. That's the part that really drives me and intrigues me about this whole process of variant covers. You know, don't get me wrong, the money doesn't hurt. I ain't gonna lie to you. But
well, it's a living, so it makes sense.
But that's the part that's exciting to me is the actual creative part of it, you know, and then don't get me wrong, the selling part of it and the fire hot sellout success from some of the books makes it all the more worthwhile. But the Stray Dogs community was amazing. This one I actually dropped off of Comic-Con online and through the Facebook group of Stray Dogs.
Yeah, I remember that.
This one
sold
did
out.
really well.
Sold out with the group. Period.
This was actually the Virgin sold out a little faster, but this is one of our fastest sellouts ever. It was like 10 minutes, not even like 7 minutes, and I was just flabbergasted. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we drop most of our books at Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So I usually am on that Shopify looking. This was the most ever traffic I had on my website was because of this book. Oh, Animal Castle. So basically,
this one, bro.
Read this one. This was put out by Blaze Publishing. When this actually was originally a French comic, I believe, and then Blaze bought the rights to print it in English. Okay. This one we did the red foil, and then we did a blank. We still have some of the blanks left, but I think I'm down to my last 30, nice. Which are, I actually mailed, speaking of Trish, I mailed her a free care package of blanks and foils as a thank you for all her help at Baltimore. But this was actually a great book for us. We did a limited to 300 red foil, sold out pretty fast. Working with the Blaze was great. They're a great company in Canada, but I actually continued with all the Stray Dogs hype that led into this, you know, and then next came Good Boy, but we didn't do a Good Boy. We kind of missed the boat on that one.
So going to another hype ass comic that you had.
Oh, so I'm not going to lie. This was more, I love Miguel Mercado. We've done a lot of variants with him. He's done amazing work. This was my partner is a huge fan of Breakfast at Tiffany's, so we did this. And who doesn't love Aubrey Hepburn? So we did this beautiful dot 13. My contribution was making this. This was basically about whether or not the moon landing was fake. Like, if you're a conspiracy theorist at all, read Department of Truth. Amazing writing by James Tinian.
Yo, all jokes aside, like, how, I don't even know. Like, I'm on issue 6, and I have the trades, and anyone who enjoys conspiracy theories, listen, you have to read this. And the hype is not fake, man. Like, yo, it really, for lack of a better term, it fucks your head.
Yo,
And
we spoke about Donnie Cates earlier. Talk
Yeah.
about another guy in Tinian who's just so humble and so amazing. And you know what gets me is the man is writing so many different stories and plot
he's
lines.
everywhere.
Like, how are you that creative?
He's Batman. He's Something's Killing the Children.
Punchline,
He's Department of
Joker.
Truth. He's Punchline. He is creating universe at the
Razor
universe
blades.
of universe. Do you want to live in his mind? I don't. I'm scared shitless, because when you go through all the things that he's writing, you're like, what the hell is going on in this man's mind? Like, I'm happy I'm a reader.
That reminds me, if you allow me to go a little off tangent.
Right.
I've done several signings with Dave Michelini, amazing guy. And when I first met him, he was, for lack of this long-haired, wearing Hawaiian shirt, kind of looks like a little bit of a poet hippie. And I was like, and I sat and talked to him for an hour during the signing, and I'm just like, you created Venom and Carnage, two of the deadliest characters. And I asked him, like, how did you create, what inspired Venom and Carnage? And he told me this awesome story about the difference between Venom and Carnage. And he said, imagine there's a cat stuck in a tree across the street. Venom would kill everybody along crossing the street and save the cat. Carnage kills everybody as he crosses the street and then kills the cat. And I was like, wow. And you look at Dave Michelini and you think this happy hippie guy, and he has cats. All the money that from the signings goes to this rescue foundation for cats. He's an amazing human. And you're like, I wouldn't want to be in your head if you created this many deadly killers for Spider.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's the way I see it, man.
But that's probably why they're so happy, is because they get all the bad stuff in their head out on paper. And
yeah, you don't want to piss them off and have that shit hold in. So it makes sense. But James Tinian is killing it with comics. The art just follows it. It's so amazing. And this variant here. So how did this do?
This actually did amazing. We sold out in like 10 minutes. We dropped this one the Tuesday before New York.
It's the red dress. The red dress, man.
It was.
What issue was this?
This was dot 13. Department of Truth 13.
Nice.
Yeah, this was the one where they basically talked about was the lunar landing.
No.
Notice my little rocket ship I had put in the smoke. I'm pointing to it like you could see me pointing to the cover, but you can't.
Ready for this one?
Oh, did I mention I love Silence of the Lambs? Did I say that one yet?
Did you? You didn't, but you did. And also, I think it's not the only one you did with Silence of the Lambs, but still.
I did a Do You Poo variant of my own cover.
Yes, you did. But this one in particular,
still have some trades available on my site if you like. No.
How'd this one do? Because I feel like there's a whole horror community, and it doesn't matter if whatever you pull out is horror related, people will buy it.
So some were wins, some are losses. This was actually a great success for us because this was our first attempt at. So with Image, you have to print 500. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bash anybody. But a lot of the times when you get a 500 print run book, like 50 to 100 of them are damaged. They're just crap. And the
Yeah.
truth is, we want to make collectibles. We want to make a good product for you, and we want to make happy customers that come back because you guys are what make this business possible. So basically, we limited this. Normally, the .13 we limited to 250. I chucked out 250 of the print run.
Okay.
This one we only limited to 400 because the cover was just so
Dope.
fire. It's Miguel Mercado too. Miguel loved it so much that he actually refused to sign this because
shit, really? Why?
because he didn't want his signature distracting from the art. He said we had his art. We put his name down in the poster writing at the bottom. I'm not gonna lie, we got that homage from Tony Fleeks and Stray Dogs. Being truthful.
Tony, thank you.
Thank you. But basically, he's like, if you're gonna put my name in as the posters, I don't want to sign and I don't want to distract because it was his signature would have been in red, right, or white, right on this. I'm pointing again. Why do I keep doing that?
No, I get it. By the chin. Why wouldn't it be there?
It would have been right in the black to the right of her chin. And basically, he felt like that would have distracted from the entire piece of the art.
So, would he ever sign this? Or
he'll sign it to him, but he's in the Philippines with the travel restrictions. He's not coming to any cons.
Yeah, listen, we'll get there eventually. We can all hold on to our collectibles and get them signed later on. But this is when this was released, I was like, shit. Just like that. I was like, shit. I'm not gonna buy this because I can't. There's only so many horror covers you could get, but man, this is a good one. But this sold out, you said.
Yes, sir.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. We offered 6 series for this one, signed by James Tinian. So I sold 15. I took 20. I'm going to Kansas City to get them signed, and then whatever overflow will be relisted on our site. So there might be some extras. But
hey, yeah, all right, cool. Let me know. Don't tell everyone what I'm asking you for. So the next one is this is something really recent because I'm gonna jump to this because I think the other ones are a little doper.
Oh, this is the We Live. We did this. So if you are not following the Miranda Brothers and their We Live series, go pick them up right now. I actually just finished shipping this one today. Shipped it all out by myself.
So what am I staring at? What is this?
So We Live is basically about these. It's almost like, how do I say this? It's basically, so my idea was Pacific Rim because I found out they have these mech suits and I found out they have basically these big monsters, which I called kaijus. They don't, but it's basically like Pacific Rim. So I'm like, let's do the Pacific Rim homage. And I found this awesome, I didn't send you that photo. I should have sent you the original photo. Basically homage of the Jaeger that they used in Pacific Rim. And I found this amazing, talented artist, We Arts. His name is Hugh Din. He's on Instagram. Go follow him now. And he crushed it on this one. We might have a virgin cover that may or may not show up on Whatnot as metal, limited to 50. I don't know. Maybe to be determined.
We'll find out.
But this was actually our second fastest sellout. This one flew, and I was so shocked at how fast this was because I was a little nervous about this because this was my first time working with Aftershock Comics.
Nice.
And they weren't like one of the core 3, not our Marvel, DC, sorry, and
that's the thing. You never really know, man, because sometimes that's why other comic bases survive because they have other fan bases we don't know about. Next one I'm gonna go with is
this was the Rogue Son Derek Chu, and he crushed it.
This looks mad dope, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm staring at. So, and I'm like, why I want this cover? I hate you. But the art's phenomenal. It's telling a story of like him just going in, and I know nothing about what the hell I'm staring at.
Well, Rogue Son just came out 2 weeks ago. This is basically Kyle Higgins, who was the writer for Boom's Power Rangers. Sorry, brain farted for 5 seconds. He teamed up and joined up to start his own universe for Image, where he's creating this super massive universe with Radiant Black, what is the other? Radiant Red and Rogue Son. This is about a kid who finds out his father was a superhero, basically finds out when his father dies and takes the mantle of this rogue son. And we reached out to Derek Chu, who's super talented. And we were like, yo, we think you can crush this because he has, for lack of a better terms, he has that electric anime style.
Yeah.
But I don't know how else to say it.
Just look at it. Like, look at this cover. It's telling a story. Like, he just went through some shit and he just got pissed off and was like, you know what?
I'm going to release the power of the fucking sun on your face.
Yeah.
Well,
Kamehameha, motherfucker. That's what I see. Like, yeah, that's awesome. Like,
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I also love the Sauron vibes it gives me.
Can't go wrong with that, man. That's a dope cover. So this just came out how many weeks ago?
2.
Is it still available?
I still have limited quantities available. I believe I'm down to about my last 50.
All right, cool. And then we have, this is tough because I have 2 more I want to show. But I'm going to go with my least favorite first. And this is going to be tough, man, because there's a reason, right? So my least favorite is probably sold out.
Yeah, it's hardcore sold out.
Dude, yo, when you showed me this, right? Because we were talking about the child ones, and you showed me this, and I was like, my heart of hearts says I should buy every copy you own. And I was like, nah, I can't. I can never do that.
We got so lucky on this one. Like, Titan was amazing. They were super, like, they showed us the art, and working with how do I say this? Working with licensed publishing, basically with photo covers, is pretty difficult because especially with Disney. So Titan gives us pre-approved art, and then we basically pick because this is a photo variant. That's awesome. When I saw this was still available, I picked it up in 5 seconds. I was like,
like, fuck yeah.
And we got approved on the Sunday before the season finale dropped. I'm like, I talked to my business partner.
Man,
I'm like,
really?
We're releasing Monday, we're teasing Tuesday, and we're dropping Wednesday on the season finale. So it was just a perfect storm. And then Grogu and Mandalorian reunited on that episode.
And everyone lost their fucking nuts.
Which I felt kind of bad for Boba Fett because it ended up becoming Mandalorian season 3 instead of Boba Fett. But whatever. That's
yeah, but whatever. That still had his old heyday. So yeah. So at the moment, everyone cared about Mandalorian.
Yes. We sorry, I got a random text message. My lady wants to know if I'm still on the podcast, and I said yes. Of course I am. I'm talking everything Batman.
All day, every day.
No, but this was right place, right time, and we had the beautiful green Grogu on the cover, or Baby Yoda, whatever your preference is. And honestly, we caught lightning in a bottle. We are in talks right now of trying to do one for Obi-Wan. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I can't hint to anything else. Maybe Lord Vader. Maybe wink, wink.
Listen,
but
that's awesome, man. Because like even the fact that you got this in your arsenal, like that's a big deal, man. Like
I'm not gonna lie, I saved 3 copies for my own personal collection, and
why wouldn't you?
I'm gonna get these when they're gonna eventually do a signing with Pablo Pascal, and
of course
I'm 100% getting that signature.
No, 100%. Like, why wouldn't you do that? So I hate the fact that I said this is my second best, because it's so fucking good.
It's so good.
But I'm very I'm heavily opinionated sometimes, and I had to put this as my first. Just because. Yo, if you don't fucking love Rick and Morty, you're a piece of shit. No.
It's another John Gallagher cover. Go follow him. Uncanny Knack. This one, honestly, I got to give credit to my partner. This was completely his idea once he found out it was a Dune homage.
Nice.
And I'm like, he's like, we got to do the sandworm. And I'm like, Rick and Morty facing off. And it was just perfect. But like, I wish we were able to do it a virgin, but only because another issue with licensing agreements, because of Cartoon Network and Oni, it has to have the trade. So it basically we went. I went back and forth for 2 days trying to get them to perfectly match up that presents Heretic Rick on the rock, because originally they wanted it up top on the worm's mouth. And I'm
that would have been horrible. No.
It would have been. It was. I'll send it to you later, the original, but you can't.
It would have gotten in the way. I'm not gonna.
It would have got so in the way, and I'm like, but John Gallagher crushed it on this one. But
it's just when I remember you showing me this, and I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me with Rick and Morty? Like, fuck, dude! Like,
I had to do it.
They go through everything. They go through everything together. Why the fuck would they not go through this?" So
I'm a fan. Oh, you can't.
Hold on, I got you.
Pickle Rick, baby.
Pickle Rick. Wait,
that's not the
one that was shaking though. Did you ever see the one in Target?
Oh no, this is the New York Comic-Con though.
No, there was a flower pot.
San Diego.
One.
Sorry.
There's a flower pot one that's like Rick on this like flower pot. If you push it, he like vibrates like a fucking dildo.
Yo, you gotta send me the link.
And I was recording it on my story for like a month, and I was like, "Why the fuck is this shit still on the shelves?" Whatever. But yo, Pickle Rick. The last one I want to show. Obviously, it's your newest one, and probably be sold out by the time we launch the show. And maybe next time we'll launch the show sooner. Maybe like a 10-second episode, like a 10-minute episode to talk about shit. But this one right here, tell us more about this.
So this is our Morgan cover again by Derek Chu, amazing, talented artist. When we found out Morgan was available, because we've been talking to a company I will not name about Street Fighter, they said Morgan comes out first, and my partner loved Morgan when she was unveiled in Capcom. So basically, we had to do this. We may even have a Kunkka coming later. That, by the way, so there's a little tidbit for your viewers that will be shown probably in 2 weeks, or a week from when this is shown. But this one, I loved her eyes. I love how her eyes are just like staring into my soul and speaking to me. And it's just like, like.
I hate you. Her eyes. All right, listen, you're in a relationship. I'm not. I'm still not going to say something that's going to be canceled. But yeah, I love her bats. Her bats are just speaking to me.
Yo, I came on Everything Batman. I had to drop a bat cover, right?
Yeah. You spoke about her eyes. No, all jokes aside, brother. Like, thank you for sharing all this. There's a lot of stuff, man. At the end of the day, man, like, so this is your business now, right? This is what you focus on. This is your livelihood. This is what keeps you and your girlfriend happy. This is what takes you on vacations, write-offs, right? Build a business. What do you advise What advice do you have for like collectors, for starters? I'm gonna start with collectors, because for collectors, what advice do you have for like companies like you? Like you have, there's what you do. There's Mint, there's Capture. Like everyone has these exclusive comic books. Everyone has like a specific artist or their take on what they like.
So
and on top of that, like me knowing, so you guys work together and you guys like help each other out. But like, what do you have for a collector? Because like, all right, so I go to C2E2, and man, it has some running around to do to get some comics that I wanted. Did I get what I wanted? Yeah, duh. You build a network and everyone works together, right? You build a community, everyone helps each other out. But here you are, you run a business and you can't get hold of everything that someone wants. Yet you have a good amount and a connection to artists that could build something that a lot of people may want. So like, how's that feel? And as a collector, what would you do to like try to get access to that?
So,
And what do you do different than everyone else? Sorry, bro. I had to hit you with it.
so
Always
to put it,
Coca-Cola.
if you're from New York and you're ever in the Long Island area, please go check out Royal Collectibles in Queens. It's actually, I live on the North Shore of Long Island, but I pick up like weekly issues from them because I love them that much.
That's a solid group. I like Royal Collectibles. I've been there a couple of times.
The
Jonathan,
owner,
what's his name?
Mike.
Mike. Yeah.
The owner, Mike, is an amazing dude. And he actually, a couple years back, he told me, he's like, Murph, he's like, you could do this because you go to any show and there's that one thing that everybody wants and you can get it without trying. And to be honest with you, it's just like, I hate talking about myself. I'm not going to lie to you. It's just my drive is just different. You know, like I want to call it that New York grind, but I know that's cheesy as hell.
No, but it's true
just,
though.
It's just
there's nothing wrong about saying it. It's the truth.
Dude, I grew up washing, my first job was washing dishes, like, and I'm grateful for that. I'm great, like my dad worked as a bartender for 40, still works as a bartender. My mom was a stay-at-home mom and my dad worked 3 jobs to put food on the table. And I just had to watch and learn and realize that drive and that hustle is the only way you make it, like it's not, no one's going to do it for you. And if you sit around waiting for someone to come and hand it to you, you're going to be sitting around for a while. And I don't know. I go get it. And like, I don't have that. And maybe it's like an impulse control issue, but it's like some people, I don't second guess. I just do, because that second guessing is I read this one quote is, if is the longest word in the English language, like, but true. Like, what if I went left?
That.
What if I went right? What if I did this? What if I did that? And before you know it, your mind is spiraling and you're overthinking everything. But I just do it, like I don't get me wrong. Preparation is key. Batman line.
Always prep. You never know.
Always prep, figure out the things that are hot. And like for collectors that want to do what I do, like find out what you love and then find people that love it too, like, and then you have great conversations like me and you. Like we didn't talk about Batman at all, but we probably could have had a whole conversation about the new Batman movie. Are we allowed?
Yeah, we spoke about, I think even like today we didn't speak about it, but like even when we met, before we met, we spoke about each other's collection. Like you had these on your regular IG. Yeah. Fuck all that. Everyone go here. Go to Merc _W_A_comics. You can see all those pictures. And I was chatting with this dude before I met him physically. He knew who I was. I had no idea who the fuck he was because
It pays to know the players in the game, brother.
Well, at the end of the day, like I didn't post pictures of myself, but you knew who I was because we knew someone mutually. And thanks a lot, Risley. And when
how do you think Risley found me? He's just like, I never once posted a picture of my face. He's like,
but that's, you know what? At the end of the day, and this is one thing I wanted to share, along with what I just asked you, the beauty of social media. Like everyone fixates on the negativity of it, right? And here we are, like, here we are talking about what your story is and where you started and who you met and who you worked with until now you're growing your own business, right? And here you are talking to me, a podcaster, right?
Don't sell yourself short. You doing big things. Like
I'm working on it. I'm not there yet. Until I'm comfortable talking about it, I'm not going to put myself in the same pedestal of those that I'm learning from, because I'm learning from people like you. And here, if you want to follow his IG and look at the comics he has, we're looking right here. I learned from people like you. I'm learning, like, one of my friends is Danielle, Nerdy Girl. Elite Comics, Ali. One of the hustlers and busters that we're all friends with is fucking Sean Risley.
That was $20.99.
then we talk about, your the team you used to work with at Capture Collectibles. Like, there's a bunch of the teams, another great group of guys who also started their own LLCs and companies and stuff. Like, this is doable. And, if you don't have the hustle in you, you're not going to accomplish it. You're not going to try. The first thing is trying. And it's not the first thing. The first thing is envisioning yourself doing it.
Exactly.
And if you can envision yourself doing it, then and every one of the Bad Force jokes about me saying why not, right? I say why not because if someone else is doing it, why can you not do it?
No,
right?
I wholeheartedly think I don't want to say anybody can do this, but I think most people could do this. You just have to be able to imagine yourself doing it. I'm not gonna lie, I started selling so I can get more cool stuff. Like, I am a collector as well. Like, I'm not gonna the brightness is gonna be terrible if I do this, so I'm gonna try and do it slowly. No. But like, I have original Gabriel Del.
Holy shit, dude!
Those are Bruce Timm's and Gabriel Del Lord of the Ring pieces that he did for me.
Unless you want to send me those, fuck you.
I didn't even show you this side.
Yeah, he's going in, guys. He's going in. We're getting an exclusive.
I'm a Two-Face fan. Don't ask me why. It just so this is Peach Momoko. This is Mark Lee. This is Doug Mankey and Ron Perlman, Hellboy. I'm a huge Hellboy fan. In case the shirt didn't give it away. This is the original art from Clayton Crane, Funeral Pyre. Jay Lee, Darth Vader. Ooh, sorry. Mark Bagley, Lucio Perillo, Neil Adams, Joe Sinnott. More Jay Lee, Scotty Young, Bill Sienkiewicz, Jim Lee, Tim Sale, Jim Lee, Mike Zeck, Al Milgram, Joe Sinnott.
So hold on. When did you start this again?
Huh?
When do you start doing all this again?
10 years ago.
So listen. I don't know if that's a motivation for any collector, because like people collected their entire lives, right, and give excuses on why they can't do anything. This is 10 years ago, right? I just restarted my collection about 5 years ago, and whatever. Like, I'm
not gonna lie to you. A lot of this is from 5 years ago too. I'm not gonna. We don't have to.
It's a peak. It starts off like a slope, right? Kind of like a roller coaster. We're like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. I'm meeting people. I'm figuring it out. And then this slope just comes out. Like, holy shit, I could get a lot. And I think I'm on year 3 of that. And
oh, you're peaking, right?
Yo, shut up. I'm on year 3.
It's a 5-year plan.
Yeah, but year 3 is going to be huge because I'm on year 3 and not even a con season. I haven't hit con season yet for me. So once I hit that, and again, and I talk about this all the time. Again, I'm going back onto this because this is where anyone who wants to get things done in the Comic-Con world, or like get sketches or get autographs or whatever you need. You build a network, and when you build your network, you'd be surprised at what you're capable of, and not just you, because if and I'm gonna veer off in a lot of things here. When you come from the streets, right, one hand washes the other, right? It's all about loyalty, and I'm a strong believer of loyalty. I went through a lot of shit, and I left a lot of people in my life because the lack of and the strength of, and loyalty is a big thing. And not just the streets, and anyone in general, your family, there's loyalty. Your relationship, there's loyalty. Any relationship, there should be loyalty. The lack of loyalty changes everything. You meet someone, anyone, and they understand and respect your loyalty, sky's the limit. You build a relationship where anything is possible. And that's just the streets. I just said that because I just came from a troubled childhood and a lot of shit. So, but
no, Comic-Con is definitely honestly, it's a community, and I'm not gonna lie. During COVID, no cons. I miss my Comic-Con fam. It's people I talk to every day that I started off with that are like good people and like honestly huge impacts on my life that I'm grateful for. Like Yao Ajari at That Dude Books, Sean McLaughlin, Chris Capienko, Rich Capienko, who's also big ups at Fan Expo. You know, like these people I look forward to seeing at Surge.
Rich.
Yes.
Got your brother.
Even he who shall not be named, Mr. Resley.
Nah, always Rez, you know, Resley.
Like I get cool stuff. That guy somehow gets like, I'm just, how'd you pull that off?
Don't ask. You got it, man.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. Same. You know, we have a small community and we help each other out. And you know, at the end of the day, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate what we do for each other. I appreciate the community, man. The community for me is huge. You know, and again, we focus on so much negativity in it, and it's like, no, there's so much positivity. Like when I go to cons, and like, all right, so all jokes aside, no homo, I see you, and I'm like, yo, we're doing business out here, bro. We're getting shit done. And you know, you see me, it's Risley, and like whatever. And it's like there's a small community of us where it's like, cool. It's just these nods. I'm like, all right, cool. We got to get some stuff done. We're gonna help each other out and get and that's what everyone should feel. I want everyone to feel that. So anyone, you see me, you see Murph, you see anyone else you recognize, yo, holla at us, man. Like for me,
I have a very familiar face, you know. There's only like 2 people with a beard this majestic that goes on the concert.
Yeah, you gotta recognize Murphy. For me, I'm 6'7", so I'll be the tallest motherfucker next to him, looking like
I'll be
Lurch.
The loudest motherfucker.
Yeah, he's loud. I'm Lurch. I'll have my Bat Force shirt, always representing. And you know, if you need help with something, you know, let us know. Because at the end of the day, you know, the wider we build this community, the more we can help each other out, and the more we all get what we want to get from it.
Well, that's I couldn't have said it better than myself. I love this community because honestly, like sometimes the world can be a terrible, shitty place, and like
Fuck
comics.
The world.
No, like. No joke. Like I'm sorry to go dark, but like comics are like a happy place where you get to escape and live in another fantasy, and then you get to meet people who are like-minded, who share your same passions and drives,
100,
and love collecting art. Like if you told me 15 years ago, dude, I think I ever owned this much art, I'd probably say no. I say I wish, but like now I made it a reality, you know. And that's the main part about it is you have to envision what you want out of this and then manifest it by believing in the fact that you will get it done. And honestly, you can. Most of the time, like you're your own worst enemy by telling yourself you can't. Why? Honestly, the steal word from you. Why not? Why can't you?
Why not, man?
When someone tells me I can't do something, I ask watch me. Yeah, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna smile the entire time as I do it. I'm gonna stare down. I'm gonna look back as I'm doing it.
At the end of the day, you know, why can't it be you? Manifest it, build affirmations, and attract it. At the end of the day, like, yo, you're capable of anything. Just it's on you first before you tell the world to do it.
All you need is a little coffee and a little hatred.
Well, I drank a little wine and drink a little water. But yeah, cool. That being said, I know we said so much positive things at the end, right? Murph, any last words before we step out of this?
Thank you for everyone who has bought from Spectral Comics or Merc with a Comic and helped me manifest my collection and make my dreams a reality. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to you for having me on, because honestly, like I know I've come to accept that I have a monochrome of movement in this business now, but I never really saw myself as a bigger fish in the convention game. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to sound humble, but like
no. The good thing is you don't have to see yourself as a bigger fish, and as long as you don't see yourself as that, you can continue being a big one.
Well, that's the truth, and it honestly it keeps me hungry.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you have to stay hungry.
Thank you to everybody who supported. We appreciate you, and honestly, to everybody out there who's thinking of doing this, like, give it a whirl. Just don't doubt yourself, man. You can do it. You can change your circumstances. You can get better. Like 5 years ago, I was at a very low point of my life. You know, I had to sell a portion of my collection to get out of debt. And honestly, like it was stuff I never thought I'd get again. And I did, with drive and certainty and belief that I would rebuild. You know, I said, fuck the doubt, fuck the haters, and just did it, you know? And
that's awesome.
Love to everybody. Good luck. Thank you for having me. I appreciate everyone.
Thanks a lot, Murph. That being said, I just want to thank everyone for listening, watching. As always, give a follow, share. Go follow Murph, please. He's a really close dude, friend of the community, friend of the Bat Force. You'll see more of him, obviously, because I'll be at a lot of cons, and so will he. At the end of the day, I hope you got a positive message here. If maybe you want a business to start selling comics, maybe you want to get stuff signed, CGC, whatever, reach out, man. We have answers. Maybe we can help you. Maybe make extra income. Whatever it is. At the end of the day, that's what we're here for, and that's the community we want to build. And if you ever want to cop everything, check out Murph's fucking promo video.